So your girlfriend drives a Honda, playing workout tapes by Fonda, but Fonda ain't got a motor in the back of her Honda. My anaconda, prim, 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 What's happening, friends and family? Hola, amigos y familia. We're back in Cola County. Welcome back to Cola County. I'm a day late on this. This episode's a day late because life has been absolutely crazy, which I'm gonna tell you about, but you don't want to hear it because your life is just as crazy as well. But I'm going to talk about mine because, well, this is my show, I guess, and I'm going to name this show the Cornucopia because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and cornucopias are Thanksgiving-ish. It's like a basket full of all the vegetables. You've seen the picture. Last week, I recorded the episode with Janet. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Love talking to Janet. That morning, I did a message for my men's group. I have a men's group that we meet every Tuesday morning, 5:30 in the morning. And I did the message. It's the first time I've done that for these guys. A lot of them are older than I am. It's very intimidating, but I studied, I did my homework, and I think I knocked it out of the park. I think the Lord spoke through me to these guys, but I think it went very well. That was very stressful, though, to worry about and get ready for, but it went good. And then it was over, and then the craziness commenced. My brother texted me that day or the next day and said that his coworker fell 9 feet and like broke his ribs, broke his face, punctured his lung. They have him in a self-induced, or not a self-induced, self-induced, a doctor-induced coma to heal him and fix everything up. So that was crazy in itself. So, and then he fell off a stair a couple days later and broke his ankle, just like missed a step or something, and literally broke his ankle. So that was going on. So the prayer warriors were out for that. My sister texted me yesterday and said something about her mother-in-law got in a car wreck. The kids were being kids all week long. They were at each other's throats. They were, my oldest Avery is the preteen, all the preteen hormones and attitudes and all that's been going on. My youngest was in a basketball game. A girl passed it to her like 2 feet away, right in the nose, just right in the nose, busted her nose. Blood went everywhere, all over her jersey, all over the court. I had to go get her, take her to the bathroom, patch that up. By the time that was done, the game was over. Bless her heart. She was pitiful. And now my mom's on her way out here for Thanksgiving from South Carolina. And she was traveling up from South Carolina to North Carolina to my brother's. Her car broke down, overheated. Her phone died. Her charger died. All this stuff happened. She bought her plane ticket, paid for one bag. She needed to pay for like 4. So we were dealing with all that last night and all the discrepancies and things with her flights. And I took the girls to Target today and they were all over the place. My wife isn't here right now. She ordered a new phone. It came. It's the wrong phone. So she just went to try to figure out how to get it set up, swapped out, set up, all the things. They're having issues setting it up. I ran errands all day yesterday, and every time I went somewhere, just something little, right? Like I went to return some things, and they were like, "Oh, this thing isn't on this receipt. You need to pull up your, just little nuisances just everywhere I went yesterday. Just pains in the ass. Just this whole week's just been one thing after another, blah, blah, blah. And, it is first world problems, right? Well, can I really complain? We all have our health. Well, not my brother. He broke his ankle. I'm healthy. My wife's healthy. The girls are healthy. I shouldn't be complaining, but my wife let me go to Breckenridge. She sent me on a vacation by myself to Breckenridge the other day, and that was nice, right? She knew the upcoming month and a half was going to be crazy. So she's like, go take some time, reset, come back. And when I'm there, I'm eating peanut butter and jellies and playing video games for 2 days straight is what I'm doing. But it really didn't scratch the itch. I just felt it. I don't know. I felt like I was missing something. It was weird. Like I wasn't getting the rest and reset that I needed. And I thought I'm just going to plow through all these video games. And it was like, this isn't this isn't fulfilling what I need. I don't know what does. I feel like to get that rest, I need the girls, wife and kids to leave the house and me stay in the house. That way I can function in my own home and I have, I can reset here. That's what I really need. But that didn't happen. But Breckenridge was nice. There were skiers. It was snowy. It was festive. It was nice. So yeah, I'm not complaining. But I went for a walk with my wife the other day and I was just saying we were both kind of agreeing like I'm moving, I'm going, I'm doing stuff, but I feel like I'm off the rails. Like I don't know, I don't really have, it's not that I don't have direction. It just feels out of my control what I'm doing. Even though I've got a to-do list, I'm checking things off, I still don't feel in control of what I'm doing. It's a super weird feeling. I don't feel like that often. And of course, my wife and my brother's like, Mercury's in retrograde. And I'm like, what in the world is that? I don't I don't know what that I don't know anything about that kind of stuff, but they like to subscribe to those things. I was sitting with my daughter in the car the other night. We went somewhere and me and Avery and we came home and she here lately she's been asking me a lot of questions. What's your favorite color? What did you like to do as a kid? What was your favorite pet? Just all these questions. I don't know if she's just inquisitive and wants to know about me or if she doesn't like dead space, which I can sit in silence for a long time. I'm not going to lie and be okay with it. But she asked me, she said, when you were a kid, what did you want from Santa Claus? And I looked at her with a dead straight face and said, a dad. And she just was like, whoa, balled up in tears. Oh, Dad, that's so sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, it's all I wanted for Christmas was a dad. Never got it. But Santa Claus did bring me marijuana and put that in my stocking. So I did have a dime bag occasionally in my stocking from Santa Claus, which, if you're not going to have a dad, you might as well have a dime bag. I walked by the mirror the other day and looked tired, man. I looked tired. I looked myself in the mirror and my eyes were like bloodshot red. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm tired. And it reminded me, I flashed back to a story when I was a teenager. I went into Walmart with my friend Aaron, and I think there was somebody else with us. I don't know if it was my brother or someone else. I know it was me and my buddy Aaron. We walked into Kmart and I just got a wild hair and thought I was going to be funny. So I just walked around the store and started opening things and eating them like cookies, chips, anything I could find that was in a package. I just open it up and start eating. And then we just walked around a little while and then we went to walk out. I was just going to walk out like nothing happened. There was a security guy there that stopped us on the way out and pulled me aside and was like, you need to come with me, sir. And I, being a cocky teenager, I looked at him and his eyes were super red. And I was like, you can't arrest me. You're high. I was like, look at your eyes. You're bloodshot red, man. You've been smoking. You're on something. So you can't touch me. I'm scot free. And I was talking to this guy like I knew what was up and you can't even touch me. The police ended up coming and taking me to the station and my mom had to pick me up there. But so when I saw my face in the mirror the other day, knowing I wasn't high, but seeing how red my eyes were, I thought, man, that poor guy was just there trying to do his job. And some punk teenager was giving him a hard time. I feel really bad for that. Maybe he was just tired and had a rough week. So, man, if you're listening, obviously you're not working at Kmart anymore because those don't exist. But if you're still around and alive and listening to this podcast, which I'm sure you are, I'm sorry. Okay. I now know what it's like to be tired and exhausted. And if some punk kid came up to me talking that mess today, I would treat him the same way that you treated me, which was not nice. I'd sling him around a little bit too. So I'm sorry, sir. Uh, I'm sure your name was Bob or Billy. I'm sorry, Billy, that I did that. I haven't been online much on the social medias due to life being crazy. And if my life's this hectic now, once I get on social media and start scrolling, doom scrolling, that's just going to make it even worse. So I know to stay off of that, stay away from that. Don't scroll, kids. So I haven't been on there much, but I did see a couple weeks ago, I guess it was shortly after Halloween, because there was some kids with their candy sprawl from Halloween just sprawled out all over everywhere. And in the pile of candy, there was a bag of microwave popcorn. And I laughed so hard at that picture. I probably saved it somewhere. But like, what kind of person gives microwave popcorn away? If that's you, you're awesome. I'll hang out with you. It's a lot cheaper than candy and more functional, really, and healthier. So I just thought that was hilarious. And then it started making me think if my kids would have got a bag of microwave popcorn, we couldn't even pop it because we don't have a microwave. And I'm like, maybe I should talk about microwaves on the podcast because I've got something to say about microwaves. About 10 years ago, we lived in another house, but it was one neighborhood over. And my neighbors next door, their house caught on fire. And I remember going outside and seeing smoke coming out of their house. And the area where we live here in Colorado used to be farmland back in the day. And now people have bought these chunks of land and just packed as many houses on it as they can. They call them track houses. So they're lined up. And a lot of them look alike, but they're really close together. So I'd say our houses were about 10 feet apart. And so when their house caught on fire, I thought it would just take a spark to jump over and catch our house on fire. So I went in and got the basics together. I like gathered the stuff together, and I'm like, if a spark comes over and sets the house on fire, I'm gonna grab what I can and leave. But unfortunately, the neighbors, they lost their whole house. They had two dogs in there. Apparently, she had left just to go pick up her daughters from daycare or someone. I don't know. She left with her daughters to do something, and only gone about 30 minutes, and came home and just smoke everywhere. So they thought that maybe one of their dogs jumped up and turned on the stove, but the firemen, after searching the place, looking it over after they put the fire out, they realized that the fire came from that area, either the stove or the microwave, and deduced that it was from the microwave. I don't know how, but I do know how, because a couple weeks later, not even a month later, our microwave started turning on by itself, which was crazy, which is super dangerous. We caught it just like turning on by itself. So I ordered some parts and Googled it and YouTubed it, and I'm like, I'm gonna fix this microwave. And I, what I had thought I had fixed and shut off the breaker, sent my wife out because I turned off the breaker. I was there with the microwave. I sent her out to turn on the breaker to check it. I was there with the microwave, gonna check it, see if it worked. Door was open, didn't press a button. She flipped the breaker on, and the microwave turned on as I was standing in front of it. And I could feel the waves from the microwave like hitting my chest and almost like I cooking me, almost cooking me. And I just feel the microwaves. And so I was hollering, turn it off, turn back off the breaker, turn the breaker off. And she did. And that was the end of that. We took the microwave. We actually just shut it down there. We flipped the breaker on the microwave. We only used it for storage after that, to put bread in, cookies. We put all kinds of food in there. We had no pair at the time, and she was just like, do all Americans do this? I don't know. This is our storage area. So when we moved from that house, we replaced it with a different microwave. We took because you had to sell the house with things that work. So we came to this new house. We had a microwave here, worked fine for a while, and then just started cutting the breaker every time we use it. It didn't matter what we did, it would just pop the breaker as soon as you hit start on the microwave. So we've cut the breaker on that. The microwave's still sitting there, and now we're using it for storage. And no microwave, that's just how it is. But microwaves, kids, watch out for them. Way more dangerous than you think they are. So I'm thankful that we don't have a microwave. And I'm thankful for you all for listening and subscribing and watching and liking and loving and wanting to be on the show. So many of you have reached out and said, can I be on the podcast? Absolutely. Come on. Send me a message. I'll have you on here. We'll chat it up. I'm thankful for the 8-Bit Clubhouse. My guys, Drew and Hambone. Johnny, I'm thankful for so much. It's immeasurable, but I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to you all. And I hope you have a wonderful time with your friends and family and off of work, hopefully. And we'll catch you next time, next week, hopefully, as long as I keep this thing together, keep it rolling. So, adios.
Thank you, Bob Cousy.